I did warn you, before Brexit was a thing, that Brexit was a really bad idea, and you can't trust a Tory government or any of these Brexiters. Well, back to work schemes across England previously paid for by the European Union, well, they've been forced to close, and they're laying off staff as a result. And this is despite the government, well, in some kind of desperate attempt to try and save it. Well, they failed. Even though they have changed the rules, allowing the councils to, well, fund their schemes, but all too late. And Michael, Cokehead Gove's department for levelling up housing and communities, wrote to local authorities last week, giving them the green light to spend their Shared Prosperity Fund, the SPF, allocations on job schemes from April. Like I say, it's all too late now. Well, the SPF is the government's £2.6 billion replacement for the EU structural funds that went to some of the UK's poorest areas previously. It was put in the hands of the EU, but basically they gave the money to areas that needed it. Not where some Tory charlatan happens to be the MP of. The Tory areas that get all the money, just like Richie Sunak said when he said, the money all went up the north, and I stopped that. Yeah, went to a wealthy area instead. Well, previously, government rules for England had specified that these grants from the fund, the SPF fund, could not be spent on people and skills until April 2024. That's next year. That's the third year of the fund. Go figure. Well, this so-called temporary restriction, you can't trust them, you really can't, which did not apply to Scotland and Wales, got their money, baffled councils and charities, and led to warnings of a funding gap in the provision to back-to-work support. The other thing we've got to remember here is that the SPF is a fraction of the EU support. It's minuscule. That's not even the third of it. Well, in a message sent to councils on the 23rd of March and seen by various, people, DLUHC officials, they said that the Prime Minister recently set out a clear direction to focus on building the skills capability of people across the United Kingdom so that they can realise their full potential. The usual sort of rhetoric you get from Richie Sunak. And increase workforce participation rates in our prosperity and productivity as a country to maximise the impact of the SPF, the Shared Prosperity Fund, in this area. Now, we will remove the restriction on people and skills spending from April 2023, this year, in England. Unfortunately, it's too late. According to the providers of back-to-work schemes, which include charities and private sector firms, well, they weren't going to change. And this was after intensive lobbying, but it's all too late. Because several of these schemes have already wound up. They're making the staff redundant as a result. So welcome to the Brexit, sir, and Brexit is completely and utterly messed up. If you voted for it, I hope you're happy with yourself. Well, I didn't. No, I put the cross in the right box that I did. You tell me what you did. Leave it in the comments down below. Go figure. Welcome to the Brexit, sir, you could say. Or one Dutchman did. Okay. Ta-da! Like I said, I told you so.